that day, New Time Stories Day. Now, if you know me, Time Stories is one of my game group's favorite absolute games of all time. The original Asylum, we love the first whole series, and now we're in this Blue Box series, right? Time Stories is so great. It's all about coming back in time, and then you're going through multiple runs to see how how you can affect time, and maybe you'll go back in time further. But I just can't wait. It's so every time we open the box, it's a new thing, and it becomes exciting, and we can't wait to play it again. No, wait a minute. Am I too early? I'm too early.
What?
No, listen. This is not like the original Time Stories. In fact, you lose a lot of the time elements. I hope you don't expect to be going back and forth in time. In fact, you're gonna be just going into one story and playing it straight forward, almost like it's an unlock series. That was strange. I don't know what to say now. Now I'm kind of trepidatious. Now that I've been given a warning from the future, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. Let's dive in. And like we talked about in any other Time Stories review, we're tricky on spoilers and reviews and things like that, but I'm going to show you how to play Time Stories, this version, and I'm going to show you the first location in the game. If that's too much for you and you're like, oh, spoilers, I'm out of here, then just skip it, right? And just go to the final thoughts. If it's not, though, I'm going to show you how to play the game. I'm going to show you the first full location, and you're going to see what to do. Yeah, again, if that bothers you, oh well, all right? I'm going to show you the map. I'm going to show you, because here's the deal. A lot of the criticism we get sometimes is, well, you showed too much or you didn't show enough. So I'm going to split the baby right here, Solomon style, and we're going to just go ahead and just show you the first full location. I'm going to show you the map, but I'm not going to show you your receptacles. I'm not going to show you anything else, just because I want you to still have that first moment of excitement when you open this box. And the reason I'm telling you that is because it just doesn't matter. That is not a spoiler. It's not, okay? So, just so we're clear, we will show you the map, and we will show you the first full location, and I'll tell you how to play. And then we'll come back up now with this wonderful message from the future, tell you all about the final thoughts of this game right now. So let's dive in. I'm still excited. As mentioned, this is in fact one of the first locations. You don't actually go to a first location you can pick. Here's the map. You can go to the Old Road, the Daring Forest, the Abbey Ruins, the Sacred Bosquet, or the Cromlech, or the entrance to the castle. This is the Old Road. Anyway, what's going to happen is, just like the old Time Stories, if you never played it, you're going to get this location that you choose to go to. So this is A, the Old Road. I'm not going to flip it over and show you what anything says, but it will tell you what. I'll just show you quickly if you don't read it. If you want to read it, you can pause it and look, but you don't have to. You can see what all these are, what they do, and which one you might want to go to. If you, when you first enter a location, want to, you have to. You all take a card. So you'll say, I'll take this one. I would pick it up and look at the back of it again. If you want to see, I'll show you, but you may not want to see. But you would look at the back of it and do what it says. Some of them are, fights. Some of them are challenges. Some of them are done with just talking, using your own personal cards that everyone will get. You'll get a set of these personal cards to use. It will say, if you want to do this, check your interact card, this. Everyone also has a snap recall, which is basically a private secret goal that you're trying to get. It can up your skills. But when you do challenges in this one, there's no board, there's no dice in this one. What you do is you'll take the challenge and see what it says. And it will have a little matrix of things that you need to pass. And if you would check your skill level against your receptacle skill level. And you can add an Azrak. That would be one token from your personal supply into it to say, I'm initiating a test. You will then have this Destiny deck here, which goes from these numbers left to right. And you don't know what they are until you've found out by playing through them what this could be. You'll flip it up. It will modify the amount. If you're above or equal to, you'll get the bonus. If not, you'll lose it, and you may lose Azrak. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to go to all these different locations. If you choose to go to another location, the time captain, the next one, would spend an Azrak to go to that location. So we are on the Old Road. So let's just say we choose to go to the Abbey Ruins. You'll pack up all this stuff up here. You'll then pull out the Abbey Ruins and put it out here, and then do the same thing. You'll read the card for A, and then you'll find out all the information, things you want to do there. One other thing is, in between, if you say, okay, well, I'm done with my card, this card's pretty useless, or this one's useless, you can put it back down and be in between cards. Now, you can also choose to pay an Azrak to pick up another card, which means you're exploring another thing at a location, and that Azrak means you're spending time, essentially. But if you're in between, you can also boost someone else's challenge there. So if they say, hey, I've got this fight here, help me out, you will then spend an Azrak to go there. Now, the interesting thing is, you cannot show someone exactly what's on your card, but you have to tell them and describe it for them. So if there's a picture, you have to describe it, which, by the way, this one has a couple very cool puzzles and cool miniature games that are fun that are involved with that. And there's a lot of mechanics that happen that are really interesting tied into hiding on these cards. So this is a fun mission overall, but a lot of different things take place. So that's how you play, essentially, Time Stories, the Revolution version. That is the new Time Stories. This one is called Midsummer's Night, right? Let's talk things that we like, things that we don't like, etc. This point of the review will be all spoilers, okay? Just so we're clear, this point of the review will be all spoilers from this point on. Now, I'll give you a couple basic final thoughts right now that don't involve spoilers so that you can know whether you get to play this or not. But just so you know, anything, someone out there can consider it literally anything I say in this next portion spoilers, but this is not spoilers. So I just want to tell you, again, gone are the days of the multiple runs. You're literally jumping into the story and you're playing it straightforward, almost like an unlock mission. So you're diving straight into the story. You're finding out who you are. You get your receptacles. You get your ways to play. You get your new mechanics such as magic tokens in this one. I really like that. By the way, that there are new mechanics for each one. It does feel like the original Time Stories, in which each one got progressively more involved with the system it had. So I do like the characters. I like the characters you play as. I really still enjoy, here's a caveat, I really still enjoy the fact that you get these personal cards that if you were to check a goal at this location, well, it does this for you, but if someone else were to do it, it does something else. That is good and bad. Because Time Stories has always been about the idea of enjoying this experience together, right? You have this notion, you have this mission that you're all doing together, and it's a whole lot of fun, right? But in the original Time Stories, almost all the information is shared, and it's a lot easier to get more of the picture of the story. This one, some people could have this crazy experience where they're like, oh, wow, my character got to talk to this person because I'm the one who went here. I get to get this. However, some people can have that and never actually get to experience using their own personal cards. Twice in a row, literally 2 blue box missions in a row. That's this guy, by the way. So, that's a good thing and a bad thing. It does add personality to the characters, but it does take away from some of that. Now, I like the old system of Time Stories where if you have this token, you can unlock this. However, this one does a very similar thing. If you have this item, you can unlock this thing or you can do this thing. I think that's neat. A lot of the same mechanics are there of you're finding out the story, and because you have this item, you can now get this thing, and it does really well handle with the card. So final thoughts on this one. Review of the system as a whole, I still like the old system better, but a review of the system here is that, well, in fact, I do like the old system better. So much so that I feel that I should, yeah, I'll be right back. It's something I need to do. Well, I hope I learned that in the past and come to this point and changed my mind, perhaps even. Time temporal anomalies started messing with the lights in here, in fact. But just so we're clear, that is the spoiler-free part of this review. I do enjoy it. I like this. I still like Time Stories. It loses a little bit of the shine because it doesn't take into account some of the old things that the original one did, and the fact that you're going back in time multiple times. Again, some people didn't like that about the original Time Stories. However, I like it because it really does feel like you're going into a receptacle, whereas this feels a little bit more like an unlocked game on steroids. So, that's the spoiler-free. Let's talk spoilers right now about this specific mission. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Here we go. First of all, the setting. Don't quite understand what's happening with the story because, again, these are one-and-done missions. They don't have an overarching story, much like Bob telling you what you're doing and what you need to do. But this one, you start kind of in media res. You're starting in the middle of the story. You've just forgotten a lot of things. You don't even remember what you're supposed to be doing, which is a clever little mechanic to me. But I really like the mechanics that it's, or the theme that it's multiple different stories mixed in. It's not just Midsummer's Night's Dream. You have The Wizard of Oz. You have definitely The Snow Queen by Robert Frost. Is that right? Why does that not sound right? Hans Christian Andersen. I knew something was wrong. His name is Frost. It sounds like snow. Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. Basically Elsa. In fact, as you notice, if you upgrade the powers of the one character, the Sylph character, the power is called Let It Go, which is pretty hilarious. You also have Don Quixote. You have the Fisher King, which is in relation to the Holy Grail. You have all of these different mythoses mixed into one. I think that's a really cool setting where it's storybook land, essentially, is what this one is. And that's cool just to experience that and catch those Easter eggs. Now, I really enjoyed, but also didn't enjoy this. If I'm pulling my thoughts out of my own brain for a second, I really enjoyed the inside jokes and references to old time stories. I really enjoyed the fact that the main puzzle of this game is break the rules from time stories. If you played time stories, you know that you certainly cannot do this thing unless instructed to do so. And if you're playing Unlock, there's even the little joke where it's like, what do you think you're playing Unlock? There's no 5 card here. Those are cute, and I loved them. It slayed me. But pulling myself out of my head for a second, if I didn't play Time Stories, if I didn't play Unlock, those would not be as appreciated, and you would be like, okay, so the main puzzle was cheat. Huh, is that normal? That's just a small gripe. And again, I appreciate the heck out of this because I'm an OG Time Stories person. I'm going to play every single Time Stories, no matter what, right? And so having that work was really nice. Now, again, I do miss the system of going back in time for multiple runs. Sometimes it did become tedious. However, it is missed still. Like, I feel like this is more just like an unlocked story. So if we can bring that back somehow, of going back for multiple runs, at least getting us the sense of, wait a minute, you don't have to call it a multiple run, but let us start back at the beginning of the time loop to where we can go back in and maybe even run across ourselves doing some things, right? That would be funny if it was like a certain movie by Christopher Nolan, right? If you were in this time loop and you were able to see yourself and do things with and like interact, or maybe some Back to the Future 2 style rules where you can see yourself over there but you can't interact, or maybe Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban rules where my dad's going to show up. He's right over the ridge. Where is he? Wait, I guess I'll do it. And it turns out it was Harry the whole time, right? So it'd be nice if we could bring in that somehow through the narrative to where you still feel like you're able to go back in time multiple times as opposed to just one and done and go straight forward. I do like the Azrac system. I do miss the old system of putting your token in front of a set of cards. I miss the board. I think the board was a nice addition. I get it because you can sell these as one and dones and you don't need the base set. But I love the board. I think it looked better on the table having that board as a console that you plug each game into, and there's a set and a place for everything. So I do miss that. That being said, the art is fantastic in this one, of course. The characters are fun. They're funny. The story was pretty cool, right? Like, this whole time you thought you were supposed to be doing this one thing, and then at the end, turns out you had accidentally freed the 3 fates and you had to beat them and kill them. And then you had to find out that you needed the Holy Grail and all this sorts of stuff. Just really cool. A little mismatchy at sometimes. You kind of forget what the main actual quest is because there are those side quests tied in. But at the end of the day, this one is fun. Time Stories, the Blue Series, is fun. Is it as fun as the original series mechanics-wise? It's a mixture, because I don't miss rolling dice ad nauseum. Be like, oh, we gotta roll it again. Oh, we gotta roll it again. I don't miss that. But I do miss having the little tokens to put out there in front of the actual spaces on the board. I do miss a lot of that. I do miss the multiple runs. I thought that was an actual really cool mechanic going back in. Like, oh, we gotta go do this quick. But I'm really excited about the future of this. I'm really excited about that Mystery Mansion one, the Haunted Mansion looking one that's coming out and next. That's going to be really fun. So I'm excited to see how each one grows, different from the last, how this one's going to grow as well. The next one's coming up. So Blue Series is a lot of fun. Hopefully some of these thoughts will be heard and incorporated of, well, let's get back to that feel of doing runs, even if we do it in a more thematic way instead of doing multiple runs that got tedious. So maybe nicely meshing those two things together would be great. So that is Time Stories and Midsummer's Nights. I'm still a huge fan. I'll still play the next one. This one is probably a 6.5, 7 for me. Whereas if you know Arkham Asylum, Time Stories Asylum was like a 9.5, 10 experience for us. Some of the later ones that had the really great end puzzles were like very high. The key thing for me is have great, solid puzzles that cannot be brute forced through, to where you literally sit there and look at each other and go, what do we do, right? The last one had that, and I really enjoyed that. I love that moment of what do we do, and then someone goes, what about this? And you go, no, there's no way that could work. Could that work? And then when you do it and it works, you go, wow, bananas. I love that moment, and I think that's what makes the best episodes of Time Stories are the ones that have those kind of puzzles. Not, if you beat this enemy, you win the game. I don't care about that at all. I can play that in any other game. I'm interested in those moments and puzzles where you just feel like so cool for having figured this puzzle out. But that's my personal taste. I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Dice Tower Brian. And until next time, we shall see you here on the Dice Tower. I don't know what that voice was, but it was fun.